The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. Another big series for the Chicago White Sox and Baltimore Orioles, and on Tuesday it was Jim Palmer's night to shine. He throws a three-hitter and got all sorts of support from the Orioles. It started in the third. Rick Dempsey doubled home Gary Renicky to make it 1-0 Baltimore. Then Cal Ripken's sac fly was all the Orioles needed. It was 2-0 after three. And then the Orioles torched the White Sox bullpen. Benny Alea scored Floyd Rayford on a single, and then Disco Dan Ford. Burn, baby, burn. Dan Ford hit an infernal three-run shot at 6th of the year to make it 6-0 Baltimore. Palmer throws a three-hitter to go 7-6. Britt Burns takes the loss. The White Sox are 8 back in the West. The Orioles are just a half game back in the American League East behind the Detroit Tigers as the Milwaukee Brewers charge. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 2018 1982 replay. Tonight from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, it's the Chicago White Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. And you'll be happy to know that it's Richard Dotson on the hill for the White Sox and not Dennis Lamp. The Orioles counter with Scott McGregor. On a rainy 91-degree night in Baltimore. That's right. Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program. Again, I think we got a rather interesting one for you. ID Jester and Bobby Catalano. Yep, lunchtime is back to normal again. Thanks, baseball demos. And so, yeah, I think we got a good one for you. The Orioles, as you'll see in a second, as I should look at the camera, are within a half game of the Tigers at 56-38. The White Sox have the bullpen, but do they have the horses? We won't. And for those of you as far as fans of the Dennis Lamp fan club, you won't see him tonight. It's Richard Dotson. Lamp goes tomorrow, or the Thursday, July 29th game in Boston at Fenway Park. So the Orioles waiting for the Tigers to slip. Let's see what happens. Scott McGregor is looking for his 10th win of the year. Some guy by the name of Gulliver leads off for Baltimore. So we'll see what Earl Weaver has in store, and we'll see what Tony La Russa can do, because now the White Sox are running out of chances. And so let's take a look at the standings since we've seen you last. This is the last week of July, believe it or not, 1982. We go into August next week. And the Expos have lost 3 straight. They'll start in the National League East. The Phillies have won 1 straight. So that lead is 5. Could we get a race? You're going to see Pittsburgh, or you're going to see Philadelphia a couple times the next few weeks. And Montreal as well. St. Louis can't capitalize on the Expos' poor form. The Expos, by the way, no, they don't have the best record in baseball anymore. How about that? They're 10 back, and that's pretty much the story. In the West, the Dodgers have ran off another 4-game winning streak. They have a 12-game lead on Atlanta. You'll see them Friday afternoon against the Braves in what might be the last gasp for Atlanta on the year. The American League East race. Why are we going to focus on this? Well. Milwaukee is about to get Dawn Sutton. They've won 2 straight. They're 4.5 back. Baltimore could conceivably be in first place by the end of business after lunch today. They're 56-38. And the Tigers are just a half game up. They've scored 4 less runs in Baltimore. Their pitching is a bit better, and they love Tiger Stadium. In the West, really right now, it's looking like a 2-team race between California and Kansas City. The Angels have won 5 straight, and the Royals have won 3 straight. The White Sox starting to fade. They're 8 back, just 2 ahead of Seattle. So that's the standings for you. And let's get right to the combatants. As Scotty McGregor, on this warm night, takes his toss. His 24th start of the year for Scotty. He is 9-6 with a 4.38 ERA. His last start came against Oakland 4 nights ago on the 24th. He took a no decision, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. He has pitched twice against these White Sox and is 0-1. but the last start against Chicago was April 24th. Now let's tell you about the White Sox. How you doing, Alan? Mark Forsberg. Good to have you along. So here's the lineup for Chicago. Billy Allman will lead off and play short. Tony Bernazard will bat second and play second. Steve Kemp, the left fielder, bats third. Greg Luzinski, the DH, will clean up. Carlton Fisk will catch and bat fifth. Nyman, never heard of him. In fact, this might be his first ever game. Will bat sixth and play first. Harold Baines, the right fielder, will go seventh. And then you have Law and Law in order. Ba-dum boom. It'll be, I believe it's Vance is the infielder. He will play third base, and Rudy, the center fielder, will bat ninth and play center. And Richard Dotson is on the mound. Defensively for the Orioles, John Lowenstein, a 5-2 in left. Gary Renicky, a 4-3 in center. Dan Ford, an 8-7 in right. Glenn Gulliver, the third baseman, is a 5. Cal Ripken is a 5 at short. Rich Dower at 3 at second. Eddie Murray a 10 at first. And Joe Nolan behind the plate, a 2 and a 5. So not the best defense for Baltimore. Dan Ford is the best arm and the best range in the outfield. And Eddie Murray will suck up anything that comes his way at first. So Bill Allman at the plate, 248, a homer, and 26 RBI. No B's at the game. Al Dale does know about it because we talked about it. No bees or deer running on the field. Boog Powell might throw some barbecue ribs at you, though. So I gave you Allman's numbers. McGregor delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Ford back makes the catch, and that's how this one starts. So one away for Tony Bernazard at 247. 6 homers and 43 RBI. McGregor, 1 pitch, 1 out. Delivers to Bernazard, ball 4. So Tony takes first. And now I'll bring up Steve Kemp at 280. 14 homers and 52 RBI. It's a rainy night here in Baltimore, 91 degrees. Hot, sticky, muggy. I think it was late July or something like that. Pitch to Kemp. Got him! He swung on and missed strike 3. I don't think I told you that McGregor's thrown 165 innings on the year now. 172 hits, 21 homers allowed, walked 38, and struck out 57. I'm a bad announcer. Greg Luzinski at 286, 8 homers and 54 RBIs. McGregor delivers, ball 4. So Bernazard moves to second. And here's Luzinski on first. Second walk for McGregor. Here's Pudgefist. Carlton at 263, 5 homers and 32 RBI. Oh, and so Dave's at it early. He wonders if when Ford homers, if he goes into a Cadillac trot. Well, since he is a product of the Ford Motor Company, I think it would be a Lincoln or Mercury trot. Go to the side of the cat. Pitch to Fisk. Runners on first and second. Fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Lowenstein. He'll turn and watch it go. So number 72, it's a 3-run shot, and that's just a steady head-down trot. His 6th of the year, and those walks hurt. It's 3-0 Chicago right from the get-go. And Earl's already looking for some nicotine relief, and he can't find any. They've hidden it on him. So as Earl yells at his coaches, let's watch the Fisk home run again. Just a shot in the bleachers in left center field. And the White Sox go up 3-0. Chris Nyman. Not even in a Major League uniform in that picture. This is his season debut. At 246 on the real year with 2 RBI, 16 for 65. I know nothing about him. Okay, Ed's a walk. He lost his Chesterfields. Yep. How you doing, T-Dub? Pitch to Nyman. And there's a base hit left side past Ripken. And so Weaver's so upset, he's trying to get the curlers for his hair. He says, "You don't give me my stuff, I'm going to give myself a perm." They're debating it. Here's Baines at 231, 16 homers and 56 RBI. Again, Baltimore's bullpen is not that great. Chicago's is better, and so you need those deep starts for starters. And right now, Baltimore's not getting it. Pitch to Baines. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Nyman will hold at second. Oh, he's going to third. Renicky will throw it in. The throw to Gulliver is not in time. So Ripken got a late jump on it. And Earl's grabbing the curlers. He's going to perm his hair right here and there. So here's Vance Law. So Vance is at third, Rudy's in center. Vance at 261, no homers and 17 RBI. So McGregor has had an inning he'd like to forget. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right field. Ford has it, and that will retire the side. So Richard Dotson, major motion from your Nissan dealer, takes the hill with a 3-run lead. He is 6-6 on the year with a 4.73 ERA. This is his 17th start, his 18th game. Remember, to make baseball demos happy, he actually pitched in relief his last time out against Toronto. How about that? So Saturday, he went an inning in the third, 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and a strikeout in the loss. Overall, 97 innings, 100 hits, 12 homers, 55 runs, 51 earned, 30 walks, and 58 strikeouts. Here's the lineup he'll face as Earl is desperately trying to find his Chesterfields. Glenn Gulliver will lead it off at third. Dan Ford, the right fielder, will bat second. Kenny Singleton, the DH, will go third. Eddie Murray, the first baseman, will bat fourth. John Lowenstein will bat fifth. Cal Ripken, who made that boo-boo, although it was an error, will bat sixth at short. Joe Nolan will bat seventh, okay, but he is hitting .281. Gary Renicky, the center fielder, goes eighth. Rich Dower will play second and go ninth, and Scott McGregor threw 32 pitches in the first. Oof. Defensively for Chicago, Steve Kemp is a 6-2 in left. Rudy Law is 6-3 in right. Harold Baines is 7-8, or Law's in center. Baines is 7-8 in right. You know that's trouble when Baines is your best outfielder. Vance Law is a 3 at third. Del Rodriguez. Allman is a 7 at short. Bernazard is 6 at second. Nyman a 2 at first. Ugh. And Fisk an 8 and 6 behind the plate. Nyman, a journeyman in 82 and 83. In October 83, Sox sold him to the, oh my gosh, Nakia Hawks of Japan. Never played, kind of like Felix Unger. Removed by his wife and told never to return. How you doing, Sports Time Machine? Dave Gardner's rooting for the Mets. Wrong replay for that. You'll actually see the Mets on Sunday. I'll tell you about that in a bit. So Gulliver's travels at 231, no homers and 2 RBI. Walked 6 times. Ground ball to third. Law over to Nyman. Gulliver's got speed and he beat it out. So the Orioles start this one with a hit. Here's Dan Ford. 250. That big 3-run homer last night was the final nail in the coffin. And 42 RBI for Ford. Dotson delivers, and there's a long drive to center. And there he goes on a Mercury trot. It's 3-2. That ball is long gone. 380, well, more than that, in the deep center field. That ball was gone the moment it left the bat. There was no question about that one. And so watch it again. He took his Lincoln Town car and drove it around like an Etzel. And it's 3-2 and there's nobody out. Like an NBA game here with all this offense. Here's Kenny Singleton at 254, 8 homers and 43 RBI. And he hit it off of Dotson. That's exactly right. Don't you wish that Fritz Chrysler was coaching? We could go a long way with those. Here's the pitch to Singleton. Struck him out, got away from Fisk, throw down to Nyman for the out. So 1 away finally for Dawson. And that'll bring up Eddie Murray at 331, 20 homers and 67 RBI. Yep, Dawson just got parked. Was there a Henry? I don't think it was a Henry Toyota. I've been in some Harry Toyotas, but not a Henry Toyota. Pitch to Murray is a fly ball to right. Baines in the corner. He makes the... No, it goes foul. Someone from Glen Ross got that one. So Eddie Murray, 331. Told you that already. 2-strike count. Dotson's pitch. Got him. 0-2 fastball. Swung on and missed. 2 out. So John Lowenstein at 223. 8 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch to John. Ball 4. So the tying run is on here in the first. Fisk had to jump for that one. First time I've seen that. So I think it was just a bit outside. Here's Ripken. Cal at 272, 19 homers and 62 RBI. Lowenstein has just parked his lawn chair at first. Here's the pitch. Ball 4, so Dotson's out of sorts. 3-1 count was a bit outside. Here's Nolan. Joe at 281 still has that scary smile on his face. 2 homers and 13 RBI. Stake not lost his transmission. Sometimes I wonder if this chat is just a bad SNL skit. Here's the pitch to Nolan. Fly ball to right. Back goes Baines. He moves into and makes a great play in right center. He dove on the wet track and made the catch. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The big homer by Ford puts Baltimore on the board. After 1, Chicago 3, Baltimore 2. And Dotson threw 29 pitches in the first. Here's the number 9 batter, Rudy Law. It'll be Law, Allman, and Bernazard. Rudy at 306. 2 homers and 12 RBI. Tribe fan. Oh, game's still there, Dale. Right? Everyone else is seeing this. My favorite pun was there was a pitcher for the White Sox in the 90s by the name of Jim Parquet. He was sometimes straight butter. Wow. Better than an S&M skit. The best pitcher, of course, is Grant Balfour. My favorite football name is Junior Seau. Just as perfect. Rudy's a 10 bunter, by the way. We should probably pay attention to the game. Pitch from McGregor. There's a fly ball, first base side. Murray goes over in foul territory. And that is a souvenir from someone in Bowie. So the count is 2-2. McGregor deals, and Law, ground ball right to Murray. Takes it to the bag himself, and there's 1 away. Yeah, it's not telling me there's a problem here, which is always a good sign. Billy Allman is 0 for 1. So McGregor, look at that ERA. Now, if that was miles per gallon, you'd take it. But it's a 20-25 already. So over an inning and a third, he's thrown 38 pitches to 9 batters. 3 hits, the home run to Fisk, which drove in all 3 runs for the White Sox. 2 walks and a strikeout. Allman is 0 for 1. Nobody on, 1 out, top the second. 3-2 White Sox. And Allman sends that one into right field past Dower, and that's a hit. And so 1 on and 1 out for Bernazard, who walked and scored on the homer. Throw to first, Allman's laughing. He's back, but he's laughing. Pitch to Bernazard. There's a line drive right to Gulliver. Looky what I found. And there's 2 out for Steve Kemp, who struck out. The lone strikeout from McGregor. McGregor kind of looks like Freddie Lynn there, doesn't he? Pitch to Kemp, and there's a base hit left side through the hole. Past Ripken. Allman's on his way to third. Kemp will hold it first, and McGregor's got none stuff today. Earl has found the Chesterfields, but they've taped the pack shut. So He's trying to get at it with his curlers in his hair. Just not a pretty picture in the Baltimore dugout. Greg Luzinski walked and scored his first time up. Pitch from McGregor, and Luzinski lines this one into left. Allman will score. Kemp on his way to third. Luzinski's got a single. And here comes Pudge, who hit a 6th of the year his first time up. So it's 4-2 Chicago. Allman's going nuts. You would say that he was almost in a joyful mood. And McGregor on the mounds is not. Pitch to Fisk. Fly ball to left. Back goes Lowenstein. Back to the track. It's gone. And so Fisk hits his second of the year. Or second of the game, rather. 7th of the year, and it's 7-2. And so Weaver is on his way out. McGregor's day is done as Fisk pounds that one into submission. And Chicago, who desperately needed a win, we're only in the top of the second, 7-2. Now, who have I got that can pitch? And the answer is Storm Davis. And so we have a pitching change. This game is coming to you from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. So Davis has 70 pitches. He is 3-2 on the year with a 3.15 ERA. This is his 18th appearance, his 15th out of the pen. His last appearance was July 21st against California. I'm the one that did that game, where he struck out 1 over an inning and a third. 45 2/3 innings, 34 hits, 3 homers, 17 runs, 16 earned. He's walked 17 and struck out 28, and he's in here for a while. Weaver's hoping to get him through the 6th. 2 outs, top the second, and Chris Nyman singled in his season debut. Davis delivers. Chopper down to Ripken on the grass. Bang bangered over to Murray at first to retire the side. Not before the White Sox chase Scott McGregor. 4 runs on 4 hits and no errors. Inning and a half in the books. It's the White Sox 7, the Orioles 2. Gulliver could have played basketball, called for traveling. It depends on who you are. LeBron James wouldn't get called for a travel, but if I even looked at the floor, they would have me whistled for a travel. Be Gary Renicky, Rich Dower, and Glenn Gulliver to here in the second. Renicky at 312, 9 homers, and 34 RBI. Dotson's pitch. There's a ground ball base hit left side. Renicky will round first. And it looks like it's going to be one of those games today. There's Rich Dower at 245. 3 homers and 33 RBI. Runner on first. Dower fly ball to center. Rudy Law is there and moves over to his right and 1 away. So through 9 batters, Richard Dotson, 39 pitches. An inning and a third, 3 hits. The homer by Ford, who's on deck. 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Gulliver singled and scored his first time up. 1 out, bottom of the third. And there's a base hit into right center field. Gulliver's going for 2, and he's there. He slides in the mud, and his runner's on second and third, and 1 out for Dan Ford, who homered in the first. Dotson's pitch. Got him! A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. And so that'll bring up Singleton, who struck out his first time up. At least his name isn't Glenn Overbeck, although there was an Overbeck in the minors. Well, there was Lyle Overbay too. So you might not be over and back, but you could be Overbay. Pitch to Singleton. There's a little looper. It's going to drop for a base hit into right center field. Renicky and Gulliver score, and Baines will toss it back in. So it's 7-4. Got 11 runs in this game. I think we've gone entire weeks in this replay and done 3 games without 11 runs. Eddie Murray struck out his first time up. Dotson's pitch, and there's a fly ball to right. Baines in the corner makes the... No, he does not. Hits the wall. Singleton will round third. He's being waved home. Murray will hold at second. Bernazard cuts it off. The throw to Fisk is not in time. It's 7-5. So if you're wondering why it's taking us 25 minutes to play the first 2 innings, well, we've had 12 runs and 13 hits. John Lowenstein who walked. Pitch from Dotson. Murray leads off at second. Fly ball to center. Back goes Law. Way back there. He makes the catch to retire the side. And finally, 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors later, we played 2. Chicago 7, Baltimore 5. The wind is not blowing out. How you doing, Todd B? It's blowing left to right at 6. It's 91 degrees. It's a light rain. The grass is already in premier condition for the Colts. Tribe fan has it right. First 1 to 10 wins. Harold Bain singled his first time up. That was off of Scotty McGregor, who didn't even make it past the second inning. Pitch from Davis. Baines pops it up. Nolan takes off the mask into foul territory. 1 out. Here's Vance Law. He's 0 for 1. Hits a fly ball into deep left center. Back goes Renicky. That's off the wall. And Law is on with a double. He took a long turn around second and scampered back. And here brings back speaking of back, here comes his brother from another mother, Rudy, who's 0 for 1. Pitch from Davis. Ground ball to Gulliver. Only play is to first. Law's got speed, and they got him. But Vance moves on to third, so Rudy is retired and Vance takes third. 2 out for Billy Allman. 1 for 2, he singled and scored. 8 hits for the Chi Sox, 6 for the Orioles. Bernazard and Law don't have hits for Chicago. And that's it. Allman, ground ball to Dower, over to Murray, and that will retire the side. So Storm Davis, a run on no hits and no errors. 2.5 in the books at Chicago 7, Baltimore 5. First one at 20, Dale says, Dale. The Idiots, a.k.a. the Indians, have given up 19 runs the last 2 games. This is in real life. Yeah, I saw some of that game last night. Colts and Bears. Nope, wrong game. We are not relations, sir. Yes, I can't do Bubba. Great movie, Forrest Gump. Speaking of greatness, Cal Ripken walked his first time up. As we start at the bottom of the third, fly ball, pop up, second baseman, Bernazard by the bag, 1 out. So Joe Nolan, who likes dreaming with his brother Kenny, is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Sharp grounder to Nyman. Good test for him. Scoops it up, walks to the bag, 2 away. So Gary Renicky, who has singled and scored his first time up. Dotson might actually get an easy inning here. Here's the pitch. Renicky over to Bernazard, makes a diving stop over to Nyman at first to retire the side. So, hey, the Orioles go down in order. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We've played 3. Chicago 7, Baltimore 5. So, Tony Bernazard, the batter. Tony walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Davis, 25 pitches through his inning in the third. Earl needs 3 more from him. And Bernazard hits this one into short center. Renicky moves in a few steps to make the catch. 1 out for Kemp. Over and under. Yeah, this has been one of those games, huh? Here's Kemp. Steve Kemp is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. But then again, pretty much everyone. Well, no, that's not true. Davis pitch. Struck him out. A 1-2 cutter and strike 3. And that's the first one on the afternoon or evening for Davis. It's cooled off a bit. It's now 90 degrees here in Baltimore. Greg Luzinski with a 2-run homer. 1 for 1 with a walk. Pitch from Davis, and the Bull slaps one down to Ripken at short. Quick throw over to Murray, and that one is bobbled. It's a low throw, And Murray just couldn't stay on the bag, so it's an E6. But Murray saved the base on the poor throw by Ripken. And look who's coming up. Carlton Babe Ruth Fisk. He is 2 for 2. He has 2 homers on the day. He has driven in 6. He now has 38 on the year. And Davis just kind of squints in there and says, hit this one, big boy. Here's the pitch. Popped up left side, Lowenstein. That one was still nailed, but short of the track. No runs, no hits, and 1 error after 3.5. Chicago 7, Baltimore 5. So it'll be Rich Dower, and then the top of the lineup, Gulliver and Ford. Huh? You picked a top. You picked a good day to stop sniffing glue, Todd, huh? Rich Dower's 0 for 1. Dotson delivers, and there's a ground ball to Nyman. He'll flip it to Dotson covering, and that's an out. So Nyman, despite not being a great fielder, has handled his tough chances well so far. Here's Glenn Gulliver. He has singled and doubled, scored twice. He's 2 for 2. So through 18 batters, Richard Dotson, not Dawson, the Family Feud, has thrown 3 1/3 innings, 81 pitches. 6 hits, the home run to Ford, walked 2 and struck out 3. He'd pitch, ground ball to Almond, goes over towards third, long throw to Nyman for the out. How soon can we land? Don't make me turn around this plane, Mr. Parks. Don't make me stop and turn around this plane. Dan Ford has a homer. He's 1 for 2. And we already discussed earlier, it was a Lincoln Town Car trot, not a Cadillac. Pitch from Dotson. Ford popped up right side. Bernazard has it for the out. So no runs, no hits, no errors. After the fireworks early, we've settled in. After 4, Chicago 7, Baltimore 5. Walking human resources violation. Yes. Yes, Al. He certainly was. Surely I jest, huh? So make me turn around this plane. There's a grass runway. There's a grass airport a little ways away. I can get there. Chris Nyman is 1 for 2 in his season debut. Got a single. Davis out for his 3rd inning of work in relief of Scotty McGregor. Pitch to Nyman. Popped up left side. Gulliver. 1 out. Harold Baines is up. The Hall of Famer 1 for 2 with a single. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the White Sox. You won't see them maybe again for a long time. Not that any of you complained or anything, especially about your good buddy Dennis Lamp. But they're falling out of the race, and so it looks like we're starting to get a race in the National League East. The Orioles you'll see quite a bit of over the next few weeks. Baines, as I said, is 1 for 2. Pitch from Davis, and there's a base hit in the right field. Baines is going for 2 right off the get-go, and he's got it. So Ford kind of lollygagged coming to get that ball, and Baines just kept on humming. And what? That's a curler coming out of the dugout. Earl is now chucking his curlers at the players. I think from what we're hearing, it's like Dan Ford is the one that glued the top of his Chesterfield pack shut. Here's Vance Law. Vance is 1 for 2 with a double. Davis delivers, and there's a ground ball to Ripken by the bag at second, over to Murray for the out. Baines will go to third, and there's 2 away for Rudy Law. So Rudy is 0 for 2. Davis has been very, very good. And we got ourselves a rain delay. Did you enjoy the Three Stooges meet the Chesterfield cigarette packs? I guess it was Curly that taught Earl how to eat that stuff. 41-minute rain delay, and so it's still massively hot. 89 degrees. The rain has stopped. And so that'll be it for Storm Davis. Oh, I can't go with Sammy Stewart. Oh, poopies. Who have I got? I've got nobody. Nobody. Oh, poopies. So Ross Grimsley has all the time he needs to warm up. He is 5-2 on the year with 2 saves, with a 2.87 ERA. This is his 25th relief appearance. He last pitched Saturday against Oakland, an inning. 2 hits, a run, it was earned, and no walks or strikeouts. So on the year, 47 innings, 49 hits. 2 homers, 15 runs total. He's walked 20 and struck out 16. As far as I can tell, he has not pitched against the White Sox this year. Rudy Loft in the rain delay is still 0 for 2. Baines on third, 2 out. Top the 5th. And Law slaps that one into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Baines will score, and it's 8-5 Chicago. And now bring up Billy Allman, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. This is not what the Orioles needed. Now with the rain delay, you're going to have a case where the bullpen just gets blitzed. And Baltimore can't afford that. Pitch to Allman is a line in the left field for a base hit. Rudy goes to third, and runners in the corners. Yeah, it cooled off 2 degrees in that downpour. All right, Tribe. Oh, God. I want to see someone plunk Law and there be a brawl so we can see who fights the Law and if the Law wins. Yeah, Storm Davis did pitch, but he's gone. He came out in the rain delay. People are already, you guys are already rooting for position players to pitch. You people are weird. So Bernazard is 0 for 2. He has walked and scored. 2 out, 8-5 White Sox here. Top the 5th. And there's a ground ball to Ripken. Goes to Dower for the easy out. And finally, that will retire the side. A run on 3 hits and no errors. We're halfway home as Chico Escarraga comes into pitch. Chi Sox 8. Orioles 5. And so before we tell you about Chico and the man, let's give you the in-game box score. Carlton Fisk is going to be the MVP this game. He's got 6 RBI on 2 homers. Ford and Singleton have 2 RBI apiece. So Richard Dotson could only go 4 innings because of the rain delay, although he probably wouldn't have made it past the 5th. But the big thing for Baltimore is they lost Storm Davis with about 25 pitches or an inning to go. And McGregor, well, that is the very definition of what I call Christmas trees. Lit right up. 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned. So let me tell you about Chico Escarraga. This is his 32nd appearance of the year, 31st in relief. He is 2-0 with 2 saves. His last appearance came on July 23rd against the Blue Jays in Chicago. 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. So overall, 68 1/3 innings, 53 hits, 3 homers, 19 runs in total. 18 of them earned. He's walked 17, struck out 39. And if he can give Tony La Russa 75 pitches, Tony's going to be greatly appreciative. Kenny Singleton has a 2-run single. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a run scored. Escarraga deals, and there's a base hit right up the middle. And so Baltimore starts the bottom of the 5th in business. Take care, Al. Yeah, let's see. No, don't say it. Chico is the man. Absolutely. That's because he got horned by Stormy Weathers. You're coming dangerously close there, Clinton. Dangerously close. Eddie Murray. 1 for 2. He's got a double and an RBI. And a strikeout. Escarraga deals, and Murray sends this one into right. Back goes Baines in the corner and makes the catch for the out. Singleton retreats back to first, 1 away. for John Lowenstein, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. You fell out of chat, Todd? I hope you didn't hurt yourself either. Pitch to Lowenstein is a fly ball to right center. Rudy Law is there. That's the out. And Singleton will hold it first. 2 out. 11 hits for the White Sox, 7 for the Orioles. Cal Ripken's 0 for 1 with a walk. Escarraga deals, and there's a fly ball to right. Back goes Baines. He'll turn and watch it go. So Cal Ripken hits a moonshot in the right field bleachers, and it's 8-7. That's his 20th of the year. And so this one isn't over by a long shot. Man, that ball was crushed. Harold is so Baines. Not sure what we're going to do in Wales. It's about tea time there. So we'll have tea time baseball for you. You know, if you go out and watch on a golf course, then you can have your tea time during tea time watching baseball. Oh, that ball, yeah. That ball flew to Nova Scotia to see a total eclipse of the sun. So either an underworld spy or sleeping with the wife of a close friend. You're so Baines. Wasn't that on the Disney Channel? Or that was So Raven, right? Joe Nolan is up. He's 0 for 2. Escarraga delivers. Struck him out. So that retires his side. A 1-2 Scroogey on the outside half of the plate. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Courtesy of the home run by Ripken. We're not going anywhere for a while, gang. After 5, it's the White Sox 8, the Orioles 7. Steve Kemp, Greg Luzinski, and Pudge Fisk for the White Sox in the 6th. Kemp is 1 for 3. He has struck out twice and singled. Grimsley delivers. Fly ball to right. Ford. Got it. 1 out. Greg Luzinski is 1 for 2. He has singled, scored twice, and driven in a run. Grimsley's pitch. Ground ball to Murray. On the dirt, flips it over to Grimsley, covering 2 away. I know what the Carly Simon song is. She had a smile as wide as her hips. Yes. Hold me in your hands like a bunch of flowers. One of the greatest seductive lines in pop history. Carlton Fisk is 2 for 3. He's lined 2 out of Memorial Stadium today with 6 RBI. Grimsley's pitch. Right back to Ross, over to Murray, and that will be the out. No runs, no hits, no errors. 5.5 in the book. Chicago 8, Baltimore 7. James Taylor didn't seem to mind. He did after a while. That did not last forever. And I think by the mid-80s it was over. By the way, now that the rain is gone, the wind is now really kicked up here. It's now blowing 13 from left to right. Old Glory is moving towards the right field stands, not the left. And it's now a toasty 88 degrees here in Baltimore. Gary Renicky is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. And there's a base hit into left center. Renicky will hold it first. And that'll be it for Dower. Rich is 0 for 2. So, battle of the bullpens after a long rain delay. And Scott McGregor pooping the bed. Pitch to Dower as a ground ball to Nyman. Takes it to first for the sure out, we think. Renicky goes to second nonetheless, and that will do it for him. So, yeah. So, Nyman makes the tough play. And that will be 1 out for Glenn Gulliver, who is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, and scored twice. Didn't they live in Vermont? Gary Gaetti homered 3 times in his Todd's Digital Diamond game last night. Well, Taylor's from Massachusetts. He's a Boston boy. It wouldn't surprise me. A lot of stars live in New England, so they don't live here now. Gulliver hits a base hit into right field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Renicky will score. And here comes Rich Barnes. Escarraga's done. We are knotted up at 8 here in the 6th inning. So Rich Barnes 1-0 on the year with a 1.42 ERA. This is his first relief appearance. He's only available through the end of August. And so in his 2 starts, his last one came on the 23rd. He did not get a win. He went 5 2/3 innings against the Blue Jays. Allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. So with stats, 12 2/3 innings, no home runs, 2 runs total, both earned. He walked 1 and struck out 6. So runner on second is the go-ahead running Gulliver. Ford had a home run. He is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Pitch to Ford, got him. So the 1-2 was swung on and missed, and that'll bring up Kenny Singleton. Now, Kenny doesn't hit lefties very well, but we're not going to yank him. Singleton 2 for 3. He has singled twice, scored twice, driven into, and struck out once. Pitch from Barnes, struck him out. He swung on and missed on a 78-mile-an-hour curveball, and that's the side. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. After 6, Chicago 8, Baltimore 8. Stockbridge. Okay, well that would make sense, and that would be there's a lot of money. I could see Stockbridge, Woodstock, Arlington, Stowe, Manchester. Got to go make babies with Honey Bunny. That's how good it is. Oh, okay. So Chris Nyman, the batter. Chris is 1 for 3. We start the top of the 7th. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the White Sox. They've left 6 on. Baltimore, 8 runs, 10 hits, an error, and they've left 4 on. Pitch to Nyman is a bunt, and no one's going to get him. Nyman beat that out. Nyman surprised everyone in the ballpark and dropped down an absolute butte in the mud. Speaking of making babies. And so Nyman is on with a single, and that'll bring up Harold Baines as 2 for 3. His single, doubled, and scored. Pitch to Baines is a base hit into right field. That's going to get past Ford. Baines has extra bases. Nyman goes to third. And Grimsley, pitching like Ed Grimsley, will face Vance Law. He's 1 for 3 with a double. 8-8 the score, top the 7th. Nobody out there playing in. Grimsley's pitch. Law hits a ground ball to Gulliver, throws home to Nolan. They got Nyman in a rundown, and Nyman is tagged out. So they got the big run at the plate. It's the first rundown I've ever seen in this game, as a matter of fact. So that was the right call. Just a little bounder down to Gulliver, and Nyman was a dead duck or an eaten pie, one of the two. And so runners now on first and second. Baines on second, and Vance Law on first. So double play situation here for the Birds. Rudy Law is 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in a run. Pitch to Rudy is a ground ball to Gulliver. Dower for 1, no throw to Murray, but they get 1 more. They get the runner at second, and they'll bring up Allman, who's 2 for 4. So the 5th time through the lineup with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Bill has singled twice and scored as the lawnmower starts behind me. Pitch, there goes Rudy Law, the throw down to Dower, not in time. So Rudy picks up his 12th steal of the year. Earl, now chain smoking. That perm actually looks quite nice. Nice tight low curls. 1-0 count. Pitch to Allman. Ball 4. And so Grimsley thought he was going to be out of trouble, then delivers 4 wide to Allman. Brings up Bernazar. Tony has walked. He's 0 for 3. Getting pretty grim. Nyman was over and back, or over and couldn't get back. Over and couldn't get back. Take it out of petty cash there, Dave. So Nolan goes out to talk to Grimsley. And here's the pitch to Bernazar. Right back to Ross. Over to Murray, and that will retire the side. Not before. Oh, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Chicago loads the bases and can't do anything with it. Time to stretch here in Baltimore. Chicago 8, Baltimore 8. And friends, if you missed it the other day, there's of course no requirement that you ever do this. But we've set up a Patreon if you're interested in sponsoring the channel. We're greatly appreciative to those of you who have. And so if you want to give to help keep the talent is not there. The content going, even though the content will always be here, think about just a small donation to help. So let me give thanks to those who have contributed via Patreon so far. And this is all in alphabetical order. Al Red Sox fan, Bobby Catalano, Dale Lonsdale, David Armstrong, David Little, Phantomatic, and John Marachich. So thanks to all of you for contributing to becoming patrons of me on Patreon. So a sincere thank you, and you can see where to go. It's not a link on the screen, but that's if you're interested, and there's no obligation to do it, but wanted to give a shout out to those who were the original Patreons to the channel. Greatly appreciated. Eddie Murray, John Lowenstein, and Cal Ripken here in the bottom of the 7th. Murray is 1 for 3. He has a double and an RBI. Barnes is ready. He struck out his first 2 batters he faced. Bottom of the 7th, 8-8. Struck came out, so Barnes is 3 up, 3 down via the K. The 2-2 was swung on and missed. Oops. Well, you didn't have to say it was you. John Lowen, if you put those on, and I'll make sure the next time I do that I don't mention your name. John Lowenstein is 0 for 2 with a what? Let's go back to You Got a Friend. That goes back to the James Taylor Carly Simon thing we got going on. Pitch to Lowenstein. It's a fly ball to left center. Rody Law goes back 2 out. And that brings up Cal Ripken, who is 1 for 2 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And guys, if you don't want your real name used, just let me know, and I don't have to say it. I feel bad. I feel bad if you didn't want that outed, but if you do it in the future, just let me know that you don't want it. You can be anonymous. That's not a problem. Now I feel bad. We've seen rain today, but no fire. Oh yeah, it poured. It just poured here in Burlington earlier. Pitch to Ripken is strike 3. So Barnes got him to swing and miss on a fastball. That's 4 for Barnes. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 7, I greatly appreciate it. I really, really do. After 8, Chicago 8, Baltimore 8, and Ross Grimsley gets the fatigue warning. So Earl might actually dodge some bullets here. He's gone 2 1/3 innings, so he's this third pitcher. We had the rain delay, which bumped Storm Davis, and Scott McGregor, who pitched like a 2-year-old on a chocolate bender. Kemp is 1 for 4. Struck out twice and scored once. Grimsley delivers, ball 4. So Greg Luzinski, 1 for 3. With an RBI and 2 runs scored and a walk. Pudge Fiska with 6 RBIs on deck. Grimsley delivers, and Luzinski right back to Grimsley, over to Murray for the out. So the comebacker had no chance to get Kemp, and Grimsley goes to second. This game was a 2-packer for Earl Weaver. Oh, I think it's a half a carton one, or it might even be a Texas dozen. Here, speaking of that, here's Carlton Fisk. 2 homers, 6 RBI, 2 runs scored. Here's the pitch. Fisk hits this one into left field. That's going to drop in front of Lowenstein. Kemp will hold at third. And they're coming to get Nyman. Tim Stoddard's coming out. Righty against righty. We got a pitching change with one out in the top of the 8th. This game is coming to you from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. So Stoddard, who is passing this year as the Orioles fireman, is 1-1 with 8 saves and a 1.80 ERA. And this is his 20th appearance. All in relief. He hasn't pitched since the 24th. He went an inning against Oakland. He allowed a hit, a run. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. 2 home runs on the year in 25 innings. 18 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He has walked 6 and struck out 17. Oakland handed him a loss. Right now, Grimsley and Barnes are the pitchers of record. Runner on first is Fisk. 1 out. Nyman at the plate. He's 2 for 4. And Mike Squires will pinch hit. Squires at 325. A good hitter against righties. 2 homers and 10 RBI. He delivers. There goes Fisk, and that's a base hit in the left field. Kemp will score. Fisk goes into third, and the Chi Sox go up 9-8. Here comes Baines. He's 3 for 4. Single, 2 doubles, and a run scored. Again, runners on first and second, 1 out. Stoddard. There goes Squires. The throw down to Ripken is not in time. And Baines gets sent to first on the intentional walk. So a force at every base. Vance Law, 1 for 4. With a double. 9-8 Chicago. Orioles hoping for 2. And it won't be Vance Law, it'll be Jerry Harrison. So Harrison, the switch hitter, at 194. No homers or RBI, but he's got 2 in scoring position in a 9-8 lead here in the top of the 8th. Stoddard delivers. Fly ball to shallow right. Ford will get it. Fisk will tag. The throw is coming home. Nolan, not in time. So Fisk outslid. He got his rump over the bag, and it's 10-8. And there's 2 out for Rudy Law. 1 for 4. Single and an RBI. And a stolen base. Stoddard's pitch. Liner right down to Murray, and that will... No, it was a ball, and Nolan throws out the runner at first. So Baines is picked off. Score 2-3 if you're scoring at home. And as Uncle Al says, it's good for you, America. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Chicago 10. The Colts 8. So Nolan will be pinch hit for. Who can hit a lefty? Benny Ilaya. It was a 205, 3 homers, and 11 RBI. Rich Barnes now hopes to get as many of these 6 outs as he can. Be a big win. I don't know how you can have a 1-0 count when there's nobody up. Pitch to Ilaya. Struck him out. Gets away from Fisk. Throw down to first is in time. So 1 away for Gary Renicky, who is 2 for 3. Gary has singled twice and scored twice. Clinton is back. Do not tell. I'm not going there. And Squire does have a good stroke. Double D, how are you? Breaking the law. You guys are in rare form tonight or today. Barnes delivers, and there's a ground ball to Rodriguez, who's at third now, over to Squires for the out. So Rodriguez is in for Vance Law at third. He's a 9. He's a very good defender. And Squires, of course, in for Nyman at first. And Squires is a 7. So the White Sox defense is significantly better. 2 out for Dower, who's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. And there's a base hit in the left center field. So Dower is on first, and Gulliver, even though he's 3 for 4, will not bat against Rich Barnes. Len Cicada comes in to pinch hit. Lenny at 266, 4 homers, and 37 RBI. So the tying run is Cicada at the plate. 2 out, bottom of the 8th inning. 10-8 Chicago. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball to left center. Back goes Law, and Law makes a fantastic catch against the wall. And so no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. And we go to the top of the 9th. It's Chicago 10, Baltimore 8. So let's go through the new defense for you. Cal Ripken moves to third. Len Cicada, just another day with him in the lineup, will be the shortstop. He's a 3. Ripken a 5 at third, and Rick Dempsey now the catcher for Stoddard. He's a 4 and a 6 behind the plate. Rudy Law, Billy Allman, and Tony Bernazard. As Tim Stoddard hopes to shut down the White Sox here in the 9th. 85 degrees, and that wind is howling now at 18 left or right. You haven't had your afternoon coffee yet. What's Thursday game? It's going to be, I believe it's the Dodgers and the Braves. And the Braves are 12 games out of first. And so really, I think we're in the launching pad too. It's as close to a must-win game as you get in July. San Francisco Bay Mile. Career day for Gulliver for sure. So Stoddard delivers to Law, and Rudy strikes out. He swung on and missed on an 0-2 fastball. And that's the first from Stoddard. I thought Stoddard had 50 pitches coming. Oh well. Here's Allman. The 6th time through the lineup for the White Sox. He's 2 for 4. 2 singles, a walk, and a run scored. 1 out, top the 9th. Pitch from Stoddard. Allman. Ground ball to Dower at second. Over to Murray, 2 away. I'm sure Dempsey did. Then it'll upset him by saying, get your butt in there, you're going to play. So 10 runs on 15 hits and no errors for the White Sox, as Tony Bernazard is the only one that did not have a hit for Chicago. He does have a walk and a run scored. Stoddard deals, struck him out. So the 0-2 pitch was swung on and missed, and Stoddard does his job. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Not sure if it's cardiac time, but it's a last chance for the Orioles. They trail 10-8. Yep, this game has run long for sure. Oh, okay. You got your groan. If Allman charged the mound, would he have joy? Rudy, don't take your love to town. Disco Dan Ford, burn baby bird. He's 1 for 4, but that one was a homer. And 2 RBI. Barnes delivers. And there's a ground ball to Allman. Long throw over to Squires for the first out. Hey, folks, don't forget Sunday afternoon. We got a new series of things coming up for you. That 70s tournament starts Sunday and made possible by Sports Simulations on Facebook. So that 70s tournament, a one-off for 8 teams, and it starts with the 73 New York Mets visiting Riverfront Stadium and the 75 Cincinnati Reds. So that's Sunday afternoon right here on Retro Sports Network. Now, wouldn't it be something if the Mets won? So we'll have 8 teams, 4 from each league, and they'll stay within the league until we get to the final, and then it's a best-of-3 final. So that 70s tournament coming Sunday afternoon to Retro Sports Network. Kenny Singleton is 2 for 4. He has 2 singles, 2 runs scored, 2 strikeouts, and 2 RBI. And rumor has it he snuck out of Strawberries with 2 Carly Simon albums. Pitch to Singleton is a ground ball to Bernazard. Over to Squires for the second out. It's Mother's Day. My mother loves baseball. We'll see. I'll have to talk to Mr. Little on that. So Eddie Murray, the batter. Eddie 1 for 4. with a double and an RBI and struck out twice. Last chance here for the Orioles here in the bottom of the ninth. Barnes delivers, and Murray keeps the game going, I think. Back to Law, and Law makes the catch to retire to the side. That's it. The White Sox get a big one here, 10-8. So a big win for Chicago. Barnes gets the win. He goes to 2-0. Struck out 5 of his 12 batters. Good stuff. Ross Grimsley takes the hard luck loss, although he didn't pitch all that well. But Baltimore pretty much going with the Florida pitching staff, burning 4 over the 9 innings. I guess it's safe to say that Carlton Fisk at 3 for 5, 2 homers and 6 RBIs is your Miller Lite player of the game. So the Chi Sox go to 52-45. Baltimore, for the moment, falls to a game out of first place, 8-11. And the computer agrees with me. That's Carlton Fisk. Okay, so let's play the rest of the day, shall we? 1,262 games down, 840 to go. And let's see, we're waiting for those games to play. I don't even have to scroll any screens. That's very nice. Okay, Montreal. No longer on a losing streak. They beat Chicago 8-2. Bill Gullickson wins his 11th. Andre Dawson hits his 20th of the year. Seattle shuts out Minnesota 4-0. Gaylord Perry goes 6-9 on the year. Put out the spit you want on that. The Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 6-5. Louis Aponte goes to 5-1. Dave Steep takes the loss. Dwight Evans with his 21st on the year. Atlanta doing their best to hang on, man. They're 52-45. They can get no gain, can't gain anything on the Dodgers. Phil Niekro gets the win. They win 14-5. Pittsburgh beats Philadelphia, so Montreal gets a double win there. 2-1, the Pirates win. Rick Rhoden goes to 11-8. Ozzie Virgil with his 5th of the year. Kansas City beat Cleveland 2-1. Paul Splittorff with a win, 7-5. Yankees beat the Tigers, so the Orioles deficit is still a half game. Rich Gossage goes to 5-1. Jerry Mumphrey with his 5th of the year. St. Louis beats the Mets 7-0. Joaquin Andujar goes to 12-8. Texas downs Milwaukee 2-1. That's also big for both Baltimore and Detroit. Dave Schmidt goes to 4-1. Robin Yount with his 18th of the year. Houston beats Cincinnati 3-2. Joe Niekro goes to 11-7. California 6, Oakland 3. Mike Witt is a 10-game winner in 1982, and Dave Stewart beat the Giants 10-6. Los Angeles is 66-35. I don't know what I just did. This is a button I wanted. I don't know why I hit C. Yeah, when the Orioles loses the AL East by 1 game, I will recall this fun. Yeah, a rare hitter's day. So here's the quick standings. Montreal by 6 over Philadelphia. Dodgers by 12 over Atlanta. Dodgers in Atlanta over the weekend. You'll see it Thursday here on Retro Sports Network. Tigers lead from Baltimore is now a half a game. 4.5 over Milwaukee. Milwaukee's going to get Don Sutton. They have a month to do something before they lose Raleigh Fingers. California by 2 over Kansas City. So, the Saturday games. The end of July, Los Angeles and Atlanta on Thursday, Detroit and Toronto on Friday. Football tomorrow night. It is the 1992 AFC wildcard game between the Houston Oilers and Buffalo Bills for ID Jester and his channel. Until then, I'm on This Week on the E tomorrow with Dave Gardner at noon. But until the next game on the channel is the football, we'll see you then tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.